Hello and welcome to the back nine of round 3. It is moving day here at the MVP Open presented by OTB. This is our second playoff of the year. It's a windy, lightly hurricane kind of a day out here. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hot keys.
Honk. Just kind of like cycling around in this hurricane, just kind of flapping and falling over.
We're up on the hill, so you can just feel it at all times. It's just always around. The hill of maple.
Yes, beautiful hill.
Lots of more colors on our lead cards, scorecards today. We had really clean rounds, but the wind is taking effect. Whether or not it actually be moving the disc, it is in everybody's heads. Look at all of these bogeys happening.
Kristin Tattar able to take a 4-stroke lead just by shooting even. Evaliina and Hailey struggling. Own one down, moving her way up, kind of closing that gap. She started kind of far behind the rest of her competitors on the lead card today. Hole 10, the castle hole, we are going uphill 266 feet, plays more like 320, 340, something like that. Plays far.
Maybe even farther, yeah.
Most women gonna land in circle 2. I like the flippy distance driver thrown on a hyzer, trying to just push your way up the hill. These women definitely have the power to get to circle 1 and get a putt, but it's really awkward. The final putt / approach is you probably gain like 15 feet of elevation just on that putt, and there's a wind coming off the hill, headwind.
You can see Own kind of favoring her elbow after being forced to throw a forehand here. There's not really she's being forced to throw a backhand. There's not really a forehand line here, so she's got to take one. She's doing some little massage work. Hailey throwing an excellent tee shot, getting all that power.
That was a Star Destroyer, but we're going to see kind of one of those awkward putts where it's like, is it a turbo? Is it one of those like basketball type putts? Depending on how close she is, it can get very awkward.
Kristin's going to be early. Sometimes it can be difficult to scramble from in there because of the low-hanging tree branches, and you have to go so far up and over those castle walls. Evaliina inside as well. We saw her push into those Christmas trees yesterday, and it was very brutal to get out. Turned into a bogey.
Yeah.
So,
I made a mistake. Evaliina threw Star Destroyer, Hailey threw Star Wraith. Sorry about that. Own giving it a little bit of a bid from pretty deep inside circle 2. Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh. Only 3 competitors getting into circle 1 for birdie. Kristin's still going to be in circle 2 for the save for par.
I'm like almost surprised that she didn't just make that. Mm-hmm. She's been super clutch on her saves. Hailey able to convert, making it look less awkward than it is. We'll see if Evaliina can do the same. She's absolutely based that castle wall. Look at it. Look at her. Look at this.
No choices.
Like, what?
Oh.
And that's such a bummer because it's such a good drive. Like, I almost wish you could take a meter casual relief off the
backwards
wall. That'd be sweet.
There's one of those Hurricane Lee gusts. Makes even a bullseye putt a little scary.
Yeah, it makes me feel validated in the commentary booth here because we always are like, oh my gosh, it's so windy. It's hard, I promise. And like Liz, she's saying it's hard.
She's the best putter in the world.
And she was nervous about that 14-footer.
Yeah.
That was a great putt from Hailey. Cannot be.
Just using the height as much as possible. There were only 4 birdies today. Hailey, one of them, Holly Finley, Ella Hansen, and Annika Steen getting the birdie 2s.
Holly Finley, speaking of, is 2 down for the round, which is phenomenal in these conditions.
Hole 11, 666 feet. First shot is about 320, 330 over this last line of Christmas tree out into the green grass area. Your second shot, you're going over another line of Christmas trees into this area, hopefully just ideally short of this rock wall. This green is a little dangerous. It drops off behind the basket as well, as you can see from the drone footage. This is a pretty straightforward birdie on paper, but with the wind we had today, it plays a lot tougher.
Was it a straight headwind when you came through?
Yes. You could see Hailey trying to throw something overstable and maybe get some turn, but weirdly on the tee, it was sometimes slack. So your disc wouldn't do what you expected it to do.
Yeah, so you stable up and then it fades too much, like what
Yep.
we just saw. Own working that flex, but it just drops. That's what I experienced as well. I thought I threw a great shot and then it just dropped into one of those trees, which is like strange because a headwind typically will lift your disc up.
Owen's still grabbing her arm. I hate to see that.
She's doing it after every backhand. It's kind of
playing through
heartbreaking.
injuries is the worst.
But she's still in lead card. She's still playing well, and she's doing her best to manage that injury. Like, it's tough, you know? Like, what, she just quits, or?
Yeah. She said she'll never DNF again, and I believe her.
I believe her, too.
Evaliina getting some wind bounces as well. First up and then straight down. She will be just short on that last line of tiny trees. Kristin putting a lot more of a nose down angle on her disc.
That is so far. That last tree takes a little bit off of it. She still might be in a decent position to birdie, though.
Owen forced to just kind of pitch something out.
Honestly, great pitch.
Wow. Kind of relies on the glide of the disc. Works great.
Yeah, it was all arm, but she had some distance.
Hailey looking sideways on the fairway as well.
Whoa.
It seems.
The old jump sidearm. Classic disc golf play. Wow, it works great.
It works so good.
That's so amazing. Have you ever seen anyone jump on a sidearm before?
Nope.
Evaliina. Ooh.
She's got a more wide open look, but doesn't quite put it far enough out to the right. And she's going to be in that left side shoal. It is sometimes so difficult to just get out of there.
It's thick over there. And sometimes all you're left with is a straight putt to give yourself like a 20-footer, or like you're trying to do some weird turnover sidearm.
Kristin able to get up and give herself a putt. She's
Nice.
inside the circle.
Owns third. She's landed where you want to be after a really great drive. So this is still a solid, almost 300 feet probably. Well done.
And Hailey with
Jump sidearm to falling
layout.
sidearm.
Yeah, layout sidearm. And hits chains
All right, I want to see a 360 sidearm.
for the putt. Oh, Evaliina with a little gap to work with. That's great.
Dang. Owen coming up just an inch short on her par save attempt. Kristin looking pretty disappointed at that birdie bid. I bet this one played a bit harder today.
Right in the middle of the pack.
Okay.
Only 5 birdies, though.
I think it's one of the easier birdies normally.
Yep.
With a good drive.
But
But it's
30
not that hard to get a good drive.
Yeah, 33% of the field taking a bogey. That's one. It was just easy to add a single stroke from not quite getting out of those Christmas trees. Kristin still with a 3-stroke lead, but Evaliina and Hailey not backing down, still doing work.
And Owen has closed the gap significantly as
Look
well.
at Holly Finley 3 down through 11.
So impressive.
On this windy day, and
Yeah.
she throws so many lightweight flippy discs.
She does. Hole 12, par 4, 525 feet. You are trying to throw something up this hill and hopefully get a look at the pin on your second shot. It is all about angle control down this hill and speed control on the green. I like the turnover sidearm personally on the second shot. I would say off the tee, you see mostly backhand flex shots that go out to the right and then fade back to the left onto that hillside. Classic mistakes are probably hyzering out too far to the left, I would say is the most common. That is fantastic from Hailey.
Or throwing something short into those Christmas trees on the right.
Like too low.
Yep.
Hailey with a Star Destroyer. Evaliina doing the same. Also a great spot.
Yeah, that rock is a pretty great indicator of a landing zone.
Kristin it doesn't quite look like enough turn. Like, it's not bad by any means. It's great distance. I think it's a little harder to get to the pin from that left side than where Hailey and Evaliina are. Own doing this sidearm play every day. Just conceding a tiny bit of distance to conserve her elbow for those backhands. So crazy. I said I like the turnover backhand on the approach, but I'm doing like flippy mid-range, neutral mid-range, and she's going destroyer. Oh, wow. That looks so good.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. What a great shot, just on a rope to the basket.
There's something so fun that's you throw the shot and then you like run to go see it. I don't know why, but I
And
always
watch it
like
fly
that.
down the hill. Yeah, that feeling.
You're like, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go. Hailey gets just
It's almost
outside
like
the
playing
circle.
fetch with yourself. Like you're just running after it, you know?
Ooh, I love this. This is my preferred play. So good.
Wow.
That's so technical.
What a great control. She's got the own game dialed.
Yeah, but she does it with much less stable, slower discs. It's very impressive. Everyone on the dance floor here for birdie. Hailey, do a dance.
God, she like knew when she let go. Mm-hmm. Already looking down.
I think that's the best feeling in disc golf, when you know.
Getting jiggy with it.
We did this once before. What professional dancer would Hailey be?
Oh my God.
She's a hard one.
Mine?
Oh my. Harsh. All right. Own in for birdie as well. That is not a category I was anticipating.
Hailey does not dance.
Kristin coming up short.
Oh no.
Getting a little, a big roll, actually. I think she's near circle's edge. Dang. Pretty bad break. It wasn't even that bad of a putt on her birdie bid, just a little low right. Horrible roll.
A mild earthquake. As
Evaliina handles it really well, though.
great birdie.
Surprising turn of events here.
So impressive to see 3 birdies on one card as well, as there was only 7 on the day. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay,
And that-
Evaliina, Hailey, only one back now of Kristin. Own trailing Kristin by 3.
Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Down.
Hole 13, downhill 472 feet. Although it is downhill, you have to carry a lot of forward momentum as well because of how far this basket is into the final line of trees. You can't just follow the hill down. You gotta put it out, and hopefully the wind doesn't take control. We had a tailwind off the tee pad. Look at those banners. But in the days prior, we had a bit of a headwind as you got closer to the tree line. So just bank on it being swirly and you not really having controls and then just deal with where it lands.
How do you know the mantra for my whole life? I don't have control. I don't.
I'm okay with no control.
Everything is swirling. Evaliina turns this one over. If you can punch through that first wall of trees, it's really not too bad unless you find the water. Whoa. I think
It
she's
really
safe.
did punch through the trees.
So much punch.
Wow, the wind's really gusting right now.
Yeah, when I came through, it was absolutely horrible here. It was, I would say, mostly tail.
Man, I love this play from Own.
Yeah.
Although being on that right side can be rough. There's so many trees. She's going to have a really technical approach, but
I think she's going to manage it well. And that's so smart. Like, you know, we can debate as much as we want. Is she being smart managing her injury? But, you know, she knows her body better than anyone else. And she's definitely doing what she can to mitigate her risks and still play well.
Kristin with a very solid play here, just kind of chucking a neutral disc up the middle and letting it finish. It's pretty easy to approach from that side. But, I mean, most of the approaches on this green are like what Hailey is right here. You have to take a knee. You have to maybe throw a little flex shot softly.
And yeah, what Hailey just did is harder than it looks for sure.
Yes, because the green's fast, too. Very skippy. Kristin with a nice easy pitch up over the new wall, hoping to help with erosion.
Whoa.
For all the rain they have.
That is a little worse than I expected.
Yeah, that right side is rough. Wow.
Cool shot.
That was so good.
That was like a fun catch shot with your friend. Like, I'm gonna go around these trees. Check this out.
Watch this.
Our lead card playing this one really well.
Yeah, this played is the 5th most difficult hole of the day. There was only one birdie, only one person landing inside the circle. Valerie Mandujano getting the 2.
Yeah, it's a special one.
Only a quarter of the field getting to circle 2. This one is just really tough to get a look on. Hailey with a putting blunder, going to have to add another bogey to the scorecard. Not quite looking as easy as it has the past few days, but that is Maple Hill for you.
One stroke separating Kristin from Evaliina and Evaliina from Hailey and Hailey from Owen. Hole 14, another water carry shot, 292 feet. You want to carry over the water the majority of the way before hyzering in as a right-handed backhand player. There isn't actually a wall there, so sometimes that wall used to block the hyzer shots that came in. No longer, though it also doesn't save your putts. A lot of women going to error short left and then have a death putt for the birdie. You see a lot of layups. There is a drop zone if you go out of bounds anywhere. I'm trying to remember, was it right to left? So yeah, it really kind of pushed your disc over really far, like we're seeing Evaliina's here, but she catches the wall and we have a putt from circle then.
Sometimes it was just a brutal right to left. Absolutely gust.
I watched not just a right to left. I mean, it like pushed some of the hyzer shots down too fast. This looks great.
Which
from
is so
Owen.
weird to see a hyzer get pushed down, but I saw it too.
That was fantastic. Never a doubt from Owen there.
Kristin gets in this mode where I swear, like, the look on her face looks like I'm about to have some fun here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. That was a grand glory. Kristin does check up on the, I guess, bleachers, the wall there. There is like a mandatory drop zone separate from the water drop zone. If you land in those bleachers, I'm not really sure. I think it's just right next to them.
It's just past them, like near the path.
Oh, nice.
The next hole.
Yeah.
So bailing out left is a great play normally, but with this wind, it makes the putting hard. We're going to see a lot of layups today. Kristin not even taking her full meter, just going
I don't know
ahead
that
and-
she can't.
Oh, because it's not out of bounds.
Yeah. And I that's another one where I feel like maybe Maple should consider a meter from some of the walled assets out here. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, now look at that low right side. She loves it. Yo. Few people feed off the energy of a crowd like Owen Scoggins.
Yeah, she was born to be on the stage.
Yeah.
Whereas Hailey could probably do without one.
Born to play a Game Boy under a stage while everyone else is socializing.
But look how good she is at disc golf.
We kid because we love her.
Yeah. She likes the razzing too, so. There was only
Yes, look at
6
this.
birdies today,
Yes.
but nobody does it like Owen.
Evaliina and Hailey going to be tied with Hailey's birdie there.
And look at Owen climbing back up
Yeah,
into
she
the
is.
mix.
Quick shout out to Valerie Mandujano finishing 2 down on the round. So impressive.
Hole 15, 322 feet. And look how beautiful this hole is. So green, so many trees, just perfectly shaping up this dead straight fairway. You can also throw a flex shot. Early gap and late gap both work to get to this green. The basket's perched on a little log with a bit of a drop off behind it, so it does make for some scary putting, even though it looks flat and simple.
Ooh, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Owen gonna have a putt there. I love the up the gut play. It feels so good if you get through there cleanly.
Yeah, I was so tempted to do it this week. I did it in practice, but the wind on this hole was a little bit difficult, so trying to throw something flippy feels crazy. Hailey going with something more neutral and stable and finishing out a bit. She'll have a long putt for birdie. That play works great.
That was her Halo Mako 3, actually. Ooh,
So it was a
Evaliina.
flippy disc. God.
I don't know. The Halo, you don't think it's more just like neutral?
Maybe, yeah. I haven't yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think the Halo ones are a little bit beefier.
Kristin going Orbit St. Pro, bumping up to a fairway driver, catching so early, and it is really rough in this short left position. You can see she doesn't have a whole lot left to work with. Oof. Okay. A little bit more open look at it. Kristin going turnover sidearm.
Man, I want to do the one of us chant right now. That is such a classic way to play this hole.
It is.
15, you get stuck in that ditch, and all of a sudden you have to throw 2 just to get out to the top of the hill.
Classically disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Evaliina getting caught on her upshot too. Going to be a circle 2 look for par. Here's Owen for about 50 feet for birdie. Not her best effort.
If you land any deeper of where Owen landed, there's no putting happening deep and right. So you gotta land a little short to have a look.
Man, Kristin Tattar. She is one of us, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, struggling.
Rough stretch here.
Yep, and like I said earlier, this on Maple Hill, really any hole can double bogey so fast.
Yeah.
The way the trees are spaced out, if you get off the fairway, you're toast.
Hailey coming up. Left side chains for that birdie bid. Owen hits band on her par save putt. Hailey in for a par.
There were 6 birdies on the day today, 17% of the field, 28% with a bogey or worse. Our lead card's struggling a bit on hole 15.
Yeah.
What a strange one to show teeth so
I don't know.
intensely.
They all can, though. You're right.
But this is like not the one I would pick.
Me neither. Look at that.
Wow.
Hailey King
Lead change,
finds herself back in the lead.
just with a par.
Oh, Maple. Hole 16, 364-foot par 3. You are throwing down a tunnel of trees. It's kind of a short, awkward tee pad. There's one tree to miss on the left. We're just passing it right now. You want to throw a turnover, ideally just inside of that maybe flexes back around this V tree here and gets you a birdie putt. Really demanding shot. I want to say it was a left to right wind. Is that what it was when you came through? So it pushed your turnover shot. As a right-handed backhand player, you end up throwing the turnover, and it kind of pushed it.
It wasn't quite as strong as we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
It was ripping yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Somehow a little bit more blocked, but it existed. Not a wind too much that would affect your shot. But I think a lot of players,
yesterday.
yeah, I think a lot of players were still like throwing that and like expecting that reaction. So
Yeah, like Hailey's shot didn't have nearly enough turn because maybe it was a bit more stable. Owen going the sidearm, which is a really cool play. It did fade a little earlier than you would want, but she's pretty far. She looks really disappointed for how okay that shot was. Evaliina with a destroyer here.
must be a flippy one.
Yeah. Must be.
Turning over like that, almost pin high, can be pretty brutal to recover. We did watch Kristin make a very long putt from that rough yesterday. She sneaks past that one fairway guardian tree, but catches the second row.
Kristin going classic harp, little turnover sidearm line. Classic is not a plastic, it is just a thing that Kristin Tattar does with this disc. It actually is a plastic.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a BT hard, though. Harp. Ooh.
Oh, with a like little floaty approach bid. Hailey from the bog. Let's see. Only 5 people getting to circle 1 today for a birdie. But only 2 people able to capitalize.
Evaliina leaving herself about 27 feet for a par save. Leaves it low, short left. And again, this is an awkwardly elevated basket just by a couple inches. It just makes you think a little bit more about the putt. Kristin missing high.
Man, everyone a little shaky on the green today.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, they're human. It's hard.
Yeah, the
This game
wind.
is hard in the wind.
We've seen Owen miss a few even. It's just strange to watch everyone be a little off.
It's real life.
Yep.
Conditions were tough.
Raven Klein and Emily Beach got birdies on this one. This one feels great to get.
Yes,
it's
it does.
Borderline, not eagle, but man, it feels good.
Absolute bonus.
Mm-hmm. Hailey with another just solid, boring par. Gonna give her a 2-stroke advantage right now over the field.
Man, so much has happened in this round. Kristin taking the lead significantly, now dropping back.
Hole 17, look at this little narrow gap, 433 feet uphill. Most people are going to throw a backhand, even though that gap is very scary. You want to land over to the left by some stumps. The more pinched to the right you are, the more difficult it is to throw this approach shot around, up and over, and down to this elevated pin perched on a tall rock wall. They did add an out of bounds area to the left if you throw too deep on your approach, and it is very easy to find it as it is within the circle. Hailey opting for the sidearm. She's got enough distance to get all the way down to the corner where it's not a big deal that she's pinched to the right.
I don't know why she didn't lay up short right after hitting the tree and then pitch through the corner for the easy par, but that was a pretty good shot.
Go watch yesterday's round if you don't understand what Erika just said.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I gave her a ribbon for the most interesting par.
The most atypical par.
Kristin going forehand, which, as Madison said, is a great play to not turn your back to this gap and get through. You definitely need a lot of control and some really solid turnover on the forehand, just like Kristin just did. Evaliina smoked this thing yesterday. Not quite as far today, but still so good.
So this is kind of just a chopped sidearm. You don't want to push those trees on the left side because you can easily get tangled up and go to that out of bounds area. Kristin does it perfectly. If you go too sharp, you can skip right into the woods, and there's not a lot of putting over there.
And that's really good. It's really easy to leave this one just a little bit short and leave yourself with a death putt.
Owen with some action on the green, but thankfully stays close right outside the bullseye. But it's going to be a weirdly, awkwardly high putt.
Beautiful control there from Evaliina. Parks her upshot for the birdie. Hailey almost has like a jump putt kind of a look here.
Wow.
Yep.
What a drive. This played is the second easiest hole of the day, with 39% of the field getting a birdie.
Which is funny because, as you said, I actually like this hole, but a lot of people don't, and it tends to play pretty hard. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, that just if you catch either of those trees on the tee shot, it's
It's
so
over.
difficult to save par.
Owen made that really tall putt look very easy for her birdie.
75% of the field got to circle 2 for a birdie. So
Awesome.
everyone feeling really good on their tee shots.
Kristin in for her first birdie in a minute. Well done. Pretty cool.
And look
Little
at that.
star frame.
Yeah, star frame at Maple Hill is awesome.
That's our first one.
Mm-hmm. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Throw some dollars to Edge Disc Golf, teaching kids to play.
Hailey King now a 2-stroke lead, heading into the final hole. Own, man, 2 down, moving into that tie for second with Kristin.
There's been so much action.
So much movement.
Yeah.
It's moving day.
Yes.
Hole 18's a par 4, 479 feet, mandatory on the left, rock wall OB on the right. You want to throw something pretty straight up this hill that maybe fades to the left a little bit, though not behind that tree. You can either lay up, they really tighten this OB on the layup this year, or you can try to attack. I would say sidearm is the best play, though you can throw a backhand turnover to the green, try to get the birdie. If you cross the plane of the island, but don't land in bounds, you go to the drop zone. If you don't cross, you go from wherever you last were out of bounds. I would say it's actually surprising more people don't lay up, because you have a pretty good drive and then it's just like, I could do this. It'll be so cool. Look at all the people watching. I can do it. But it's risky.
It is risky. I think we're seeing more people now than ever going for it.
Totally.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, it's not really working.
It's the second most difficult hole of the day. Only 8% of the field taking birdies and 50% taking bogeys or worse.
Man, another couple years though, and you know, if this hole stays roughly the same, we're going to see so many more people landing it.
When everyone has perfect 300-foot sidearms.
Mm-hmm. Really good shot there from Kristin. Evaliina, what a rip that is. So much power. Definitely a little too much turn. Drops very short. Bummer, because that thing was going to go forever.
Evaliina just going to lay it up.
Yeah.
I thought she was kind of lining it up for a second.
Oh, that's smart, though. Man, she might be right under that tree.
What a weird...
I mean,
that was a misfire.
A little bit, but also the wind is kind of nuts.
But it's not even close to where you'd want to land. So
Yeah.
like it was a funky.
Oh,
Wow.
let's go. She goes through the right side gap with a sidearm. That is not the typical play. High risk. Wow. And why the final stretch Own has had here on the back nine?
Oh, Hailey with just a standstill sidearm and gets a really weird ground play. She did cross the plane though.
Yeah, so it's a drop zone. It's just a bummer that even on the upshot, you're just like so punished if you don't make it.
Kristin lands in about the same spot, but nice soft landing. She's right around the circle's edge putt for birdie.
Mm-hmm. Evaliina crawling around that rock wall. She is in bounds. Looking at a par. This is kind of an awkward putt through this, not quite a full V tree, but very narrow gap here.
As those trees have grown, it's gotten wider.
That is true.
It used to be harder.
Totally. That's funny. Kristin for a birdie to finish the round. Pretty early out of her hand. It's going to be a par. It's going to be a 4 over round for her, which honestly isn't that bad for today, but, you know, obviously she's really not thrilled with that result. Evaliina, +6, I believe, on the round, moving down several spots. Getting some birdies on the back, though, after a really rough front nine.
Yeah, it never stops battling out there, and that's what you got to do at Maple Hill. It's like almost anyone can just like, oops, I shot 10 over.
Yeah.
At any moment.
Yeah, anyone can. Oops, I shot 10 over. Oh, no. 2 under. Wait,
In this wind.
3 under. Sorry, 2 under on the back, 1 under on the front, 3 under overall. Moving into a tie for first with Hailey, who shot +4 with 5 birdies, which is just like, there's that classic oops. And look, we're going to have the same card 3 days in a row.
Wow.
Kind of unprecedented.
Own with the hot round of the day and one of only 3 people to birdie 18. So finishing off in a fashion only Own can show.
And she's injured.
Valerie Mandujano 2 down, Kat Merch 1 down. Everyone else looking at an even par or over
And
round.
Holly Finley 2 down as
I
well,
missed
who we
that.
miss. Yeah, she's in solo 5th. Very impressive.
Awesome.
Showing. Yep. One more day.
One more day.
No cut.
And hopefully we have less wind tomorrow. I know there's no rain in the forecast, so we'll, hopefully it'll be like 2 moving days, because today was like such a freak moving day.
Yeah.
It was more like maintaining day.
Don't cry day.
It's a hurricane day.
What are we doing?
We have one more round tomorrow. Come hang out with us. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hotkeys.
Honk.
Honk.